Hello, everyone. As presented, I'm Svetlin Nikolaev, and I lead the team responsible for shaping the user experience and AI innovation in the flagship developer products at Progress, and before this in Telerik. So since 2008, I've worked across the entire journey of innovation, turning ideas into experiments, uh, bringing them into the validation phase, and then shipping them to market. Beyond my role at Progress, I'm also very passionate of giving back to the community. Through teaching, through lecturing through academy and university, and also helping mentoring the young UX specialists and IT innovators to grow. So. I'm really excited to be here with you today and have maybe an open discussion at the end with questions and answers of what is the future of user experience and how the AI is shaping the paradigms that we've been accustomed with. So now we are entering a new era of human-to-computer interaction. For decades, the digital systems were built in a way that we have to learn their logic and we have to obey their rules. We have to memorize menus, adapt to rigid flows, and master the quirks of software. And technology dictated the rules, and the users complied. So AI is beginning to invert this equation. Instead of asking humans to adapt to the interface, now the AI enables the interface to adapt to the human needs. And this is not an incremental upgrade. This is a profound shift in a way that we experience the digital world and the digital properties today. This is a design force reshaping what the behavior and ultimately the experience with the technology is going to be. So as we look forward the future, I see 5 major trends and major shifts that redefine what it means to design and to use digital product. So starting with the first prediction, this is the shift from static interfaces to predictive partners. For much of the digital age, interfaces were static. They did the same thing regardless of who you were, where you were, or what you intended. And AI disrupts this. It now can make us have interfaces that can draw on streams of context, be it location, activity, intent, and this is a thing that is anticipated in real time. So the result is not just personalization or hyper-personalization if we want to be on the hype side, but anticipation. So instead of apps and menus, you interact with fluid AI-generated interface that reorganizes itself and have this ability to shape in real time based on your context, on your goals, on your intent, and even on your emotional state. So imagine you're sitting at your desk on a Monday morning, and instead of static desktop with cluttered applications, your workspace reshapes itself into a timeline of your priorities. So emails are clustered by intent, projects are condensed into milestone via dashboards, and you have a visual map of your critical decisions. Now you switch from deep work to team call, and your interface morphs into collaborative canvas that surface only the relevant information, files, people, decision that's tied to this specific conversation. The UI also detects your cognitive state. So if you are fatigued, it trims away the complexity. So it offers just enough data and even switches from text-heavy interaction and panels to visual, conversational, or audio first modes, depending on what helps you think more clearly. And over time, this experience builds a dynamic memory of your preferences and rhythms, so you can feel it less like a tool and more like a cognitive partner. So the UI knows when to stay quiet, when to nudge, and when to do things on your behalf in the background. And these systems, they stop being passive canvases. They become active partners, meeting us in our moments, not just waiting for our input. And here lies also the challenge, the first challenge. When does helpfulness cross into intrusiveness? So prediction without permission erodes trust, and the future belongs to the interfaces that anticipate while remaining transparent and offer control back to the user at every step. We go to the second prediction, and this is beyond chatbots, the rise of the true conversations. What a lovely title. So when most people think of chatbots today, and they imagine that this is just a text input that is in the corner of the screen, and it's often clumsy, sometimes helpful, but rarely transformative, to be frank. So these conversations as a design paradigm are about to expand and shift beyond this narrow form. Multimodal interfaces that include voice, gesture, touch, and text would make the technology far more fluid. And we can start a task by speaking, refine it with text input, and then just confirm it with a simple swipe. So equally important is the shift from this rigid command form to a natural dialogue. For decades, the users have to learn commands, syntax, so they have to memorize everything that is needed for a current workflow to be successful in their experience and achieve their goals. So tomorrow, computer will learn to speak human. And this matters for a reason that go beyond efficiency. So natural conversations would lower the barrier for entry and adoption of products, inviting more people to engage with complex systems. And for somebody that is intimidated by technology, the ability to have this natural expression and conversation is extremely liberating. Those conversations will no longer be just a feature of the interface. They will become the interface. And we come to the third prediction. What happens to the designer role? Probably, how many of you are designers in the room? Let's raise your hands. I see a couple. Lovely. Yeah, and with this shift and AI augmentation of the technology, I think that today it's even more relevant to say that everybody is a designer. So we experience this shift from pixels to systems, and I want to talk about the evolution of the designer also. So the designers have long been treated as creators of artifacts, masters of artifacts. So they worked with screens, with layouts, with color palettes, with typography. And each decision that they make was explicit, each element was intentional. So the interface now becomes adaptive and generative, and the designer role expands. So instead of defining every screen, instead of having every detail and every part of the experience planted up front, designers will have to be more system builders and definers of these systemic behaviors. They'll have to write rules, set guardrails, establish principles that determine how an AI-driven UI would evolve on the fly. So we are talking about generative interfaces that will be created on the fly depending on the conditions that are set for specific goal. So currently, what we see is that people are goal-driven, intent-driven. They don't want to learn cumbersome process and go through a cumbersome workflow to complete something. They want to state their intent and be presented with the result. But this also requires a skill set change, and designers are expected to shift from these roles of craftsmen to be more orchestrators of systems. So they'll need to think more in terms of what is the ethical problem. They won't have to think about what now product managers are thinking and being responsible for, and also they have to step into the shoes of the business owners. So it's not just about the look and feel, it's not just about a static interaction, it's how the system responds and behaves. And this basically is a new design frontier, and the most forward-thinking teams will embrace this shift and have AI as a co-designer role in their team, shifting their identity from builders and makers of fixed screens to curators of living system. And also, this is something that may scare some, these expectations for the designer role. So the reality is that basically the whole landscape of building and delivering digital digital experience today is shifting for every role. So not only designers are affected by this, it's the whole canvas of functions. So designers being expected to know more about the business, about the process, about how systems behave not only on the technological side, but in the experience side, and also be connected with GTM roles, how something is marketed, how something is sold, and how the user is consuming the whole spectrum of this. So this is just the whole canvas. They expect it to be more generalists in a form, not craftsmen. So going to the fourth prediction, this is the accessibility. Accessibility as default, not as an exception. One of the most hopeful transformations that AI is bringing in realms of user experience is in the accessibility field. So for far too long, accessibility was considered as an afterthought. It was just bolted on the experience to meet compliance standards, and it was not thought from the start when you establish what the product form would be. So AI has the power to change this fundamentally. And adaptive interfaces can now adjust in real time to serve different users' unique needs. So someone with low vision can be presented, for example, with high contrast or voice-assisted interface. And a non-native speaker might experience real-time translations or real-time overlays. And for those with motor impairments, they could have entirely adaptive gesture recognition pattern that will allow them to to work the quirks of the software that we have today. And the brilliance of AI is that it removes this binary segment in accessibility. It's not just accessible versus not accessible today. It's the whole spectrum of accessibility, and the interfaces they flex with every user needs, with every decision that they make. So the adaptation is on a grander scale. And here also lies the business truth. When our interface is more inclusive and adaptive, also it's more competitive. This is a competitive advantage for the product. And last but not least is the trust and transparency, as I mentioned in the first part of the presentation. So this is the new UX currency. As AI grows more intelligent and is doing things on our behalf, also it grows more opaque. So the decisions that agents are making, the processes and the footprint of the user interface that is shrunken, and you are presented just with the results. This could result also in very how to say, not so trustworthy environment for the users. So when this opacity is presented to the interface, it can breed mistrust. And when users cannot see why something behaves in a way it does, or something is working in the background and has extremely complex logic and steps behind it, frustration grows and suspicion sets in. So are those interfaces working in our best interests, or are they just nudging us towards somebody else's agenda? The future of AI experience will hinge on this trust and transparency lever, and interfaces will need to explain themselves why this option is chosen, why the recommendation is made, why a task flows in a certain way instead of another. And all the overrides need to be extremely obvious and not buried. So for this to happen, all the controls need to be visible. And even in this age of automation, we will have to just gauge what we are sacrificing in our productivity boosts, and what is crucial for us to choose from and curate. So transparency is not just a nice to have, it's the foundation of the user experience. Without it, the intelligence becomes manipulation, and with it, intelligence becomes a partner. So what's the path forward? Taking together those 5 trends, so predictive interfaces, conversational interactions, system-oriented design, adaptive accessibility, and transparent trust, they all point to a common truth. The AI is transforming the user experience as we know it, from something that humans have to learn and adapt to, into something that learns from humans. And this is both exhilarating and daunting. Exhilarating because it unlocks a more natural, more inclusive, and adaptive digital experience. And daunting because it demands a new disciplines, new ethics, and new humility from those of us that are creating those systems and digital experiences. So the responsibility is ours, and we must ensure that those AI-driven interfaces are serving the human needs, they respect the human values, and they preserve human agency. The most successful experiences will be not those that are extremely efficient and elegant. There will be those that make us feel seen, understood, and respected. And in the end, the measure of progress will not be how smart our interfaces would become, but how human they'll allow us to remain. So thank you all, and if you have any questions. If there are any questions in the room, I'll be glad to answer them. Otherwise, since we are a bit off starting from the keynotes, you can grab a coffee and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.